One topic where I regularly get questions from you is networking. Many people believe that being good at networking is essential to land that high-profile job like consulting, investment banking, or a big corporate. Though in my experience there is a wild misconception when it comes to networking, and this is exactly what I'm going to talk about today. I will tell you why most people have networking all wrong, and I will tell you how instead you should use networking to really make it benefit your career. Welcome to another coffee break here on my channel Firm Learning. My name is Heinrich. I'm a former consultant at McKinsey and at Accenture, and on my channel I want to help you to become successful in the first years of your career. On my channel I want to pass on the experience that I have from working at consulting at McKinsey and also at other companies throughout my career. Recently I asked for video suggestions on my Instagram page Firm Learning, and many of you asked me to talk about networking. There really is this perception that networking is a crucial component of doing your job hunt, of getting the dream job that you want to get. I know that people invest a lot of time on career events and similar activities like that just to get in contact with the HR professionals or actual other employees of the companies that you are interested to join. And I was on the receiving side of this as well. So on several instances I attended career events as faculty, so as a consultant of the firm that then just organized and conducted the career event. And as you can imagine, during the social phases of that event, for instance during the evenings or then later also the night outs that are often being organized, all the attendees and participants would contact you as a consultant, of course, a lot, try to get you into a conversation, ask you about your job, ask you about the careers, asking you whether you could help them to get the interview to get in. And this of course is perfectly normal, this is perfectly okay. I behaved like that as well when I was a candidate trying to land a job. Though that being said, I do think that there's a major misperception of many of these people who attend these events or engage in similar networking activities. And this misperception is that if you as a candidate manage to make a good impression on the HR professional or on the consultant attending these events, that then they will help you to get the interview, to get invited just because they like you so much. So pretty much believing that networking is a door opener that helps you to get in, to get the job, to get into the interview. But I can tell you that this is wrong. This is not how it works. And while of course there might always be individual exceptions, in general you will not get invited to the interview only because on any of these events you made a good impression on the HR professional or on a consultant just in a personal conversation. The leading consulting firms, and I trust many other firms as well, have very strong processes in place to prevent the people just get invited to the interview due to personal relations in the firm. Only because your best buddy is a consultant working of one of these firms, this alone will not get you in. And if you don't believe me, just think about it, right? How does the whole process works? Because you send in your application documents and then of course it will go through a pretty solid review process. As you can imagine, in most regions there are lots of HR professionals who screen these CVs. You can by no means assume that the HR professional that you talk to will actually be the one who screens your CV. Even if that professional does allow you to directly send your documents to that person instead of the regular online process, still this does not regularly mean that this person will also be the one who in the end screens your CV and decides on your case. And besides that, also put yourself in the shoes of these people. These ladies and gents attend these kinds of events every other day, and every single time they will be approached by a whole bunch of candidates, a whole bunch of interested people who just will try to make a conversation with them, will try to talk to them, will try to make an impression on them. Even if you do your very best and do indeed have a good conversation with that person, how high do you think your chances really are that you will make a lasting impression on that individual? While this might not be impossible, this for sure shouldn't be something that you trust you will be accomplishing in these meetings. And the same is true for the consultants, so not necessarily the HR professionals, but the consultants who just often also attend these events. These guys will be even further away from the actual decision process because first of all they're usually not involved at all in screening CVs of candidates. So they will usually have no leverage to help you get through the CV screening process. But what if you now manage to get through the CV screening and get into the interviews? Because there indeed it is true that these are conducted by actual consultants consultants. But the chance that you will be interviewed by the same consultant that you randomly meet on one of these events will be super small. At least in a large office like Germany, there are literally hundreds of consultants doing these interviews. You by no means will have the certainty that this will then also be the guy who does the interview with you. So I hope that by now we're on the same page, that this perception that many people have, that if you network, you will get invited to interview, it might also help you to then get the job, that this in most instances is wrong, and for sure is wrong for MBB consulting firms like McKinsey, BCG or Bain. Still, my view on that is not that there is no value in networking. I believe there is a very specific place of networking in your application journey. And for this reason, I actually think that it is quite crucial and quite important for most candidates to engage in some kind of networking activities of the like that I just described. So to better understand what networking actually is for in the whole recruiting process is to understand what actually most people struggle with most when they try to land this high profile job that we are all looking out for. So when I talk to people who prepare for their consulting interviews, many of them tell me, well, you know, I practiced all these cases, I learned all these frameworks by heart, I know exactly what to say in these interviews and so on. And of course, this is important and this is crucial to get the interview right. But still, from my experience when working with candidates, the number one reason that holds people back really is the mindset. Many people, if you really have a heart-to-heart conversation with them, will tell you that they actually believe that they are not good enough for a job at an MBB consulting firm. The criteria that are often also communicated by these firms that you need to meet to get in sometimes seem so difficult to reach, they seem so elusive, that people just believe that no way they are good enough, no way they can do it, no way they have what it takes to become a consultant at one of these large consulting firms or to get into that other high profile career that they actually would like to. And this, of course, is a huge problem. If you are not convinced that you are good enough, how are you supposed to put together a CV that can convince anybody else that you are the right person for the job? If you lack the confidence that you would be a great fit to work at McKinsey, BCG or Bain, how will you convince your interviewer of this? To get yourself ready for these interviews, to give yourself a chance to get into these jobs, you need to work on your mindset first. You need to build that confidence. You need to build that conviction that yes, you have a good and solid chance to get in, that yes, you would be able to do the job, that you would be in a position to add value at a consulting team or at whatever company you would fancy to get in. And this is now where, from my experience, networking can play a crucial role in the whole process. On these events, you have the opportunity to talk to these real consultants, to real employees of these firms. And if you have a good conversation with them, you have the opportunity to realize that they are actually very normal, very down-to-earth people. That they are not that different, probably from many friends that you also surround yourself with. They are not that different from you. They also studied at a university, probably not that different to yours. They had probably good grades, but not everybody is in the top 3% of their class who joined one of these firms. They are not people from another planet, okay? They are people like you. You can be one of these guys as well. And the more you talk to these people, the easier it will be for you to understand this and to really get this into your head. And it will hopefully enable you to come to the conclusion that yes, it could be you as well. You could do this job as well. There is nothing that these people have that you don't have as well. Because indeed here the truth is, you know, everybody's just cooking with water. Indeed, there is no magic ingredient. And sometimes indeed these firms can be quite good at making you feel like it is this way. But in the end, trust me from experience, you don't need to have an IQ of 150 plus to be able to do the job and to do a good job at it. So use networking events to really understand what the reality of working in one of these firms look like, how the people are that you might surround yourself with then in the future, and use this as a reflection for yourself. Can you be one of these guys as well? Do you want to be one of these guys as well? Is this a job that would really interest you and where you do believe that you can add value? And with this conviction, I trust that interviews will be much easier for you, and also trust that this will significantly help you to come up with a strong CV. And frankly, in the end, this is also a big part of what I try to accomplish with my channel as well. I hope that with my videos I make it more transparent what it actually actually looks like to be a consultant also in one of these high-profile firms. And I do hope that you realize that actually I am not that different than many of you guys, and I trust that many of you would be very well able to do this job as well if you of course want to do it in the end. So I hope this does make sense to you, and as always, if you have any question, leave me a comment below in the comment section. And please be aware that if you write the comment, not only will I do my best to provide you with an insightful answer, but you're really supporting me with the YouTube algorithm, because a video with lots of comments always looks great to the system. And in addition, if you took any value out of this video at all, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and please also subscribe to my channel to stay up to date on all my content, and please also turn on the notification bell, because otherwise YouTube might not show you all my videos even if you subscribe to me. If you want to see even more from me, you can also follow me on my Instagram. My handle is Firm Learning, and I also have a mailing list. There's a sign up link to that below in the video description. Now I want to take a moment to say thank you to all the members of Firm Learning. You're really making a considerable contribution to my work. I very much appreciate that, and if you would consider becoming a member as well, there's a join button next to the subscribe button. If you click it, you will get all the details and also learn about all the membership perks that you will get only as a member. So again, thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. I feel privileged that I have the opportunity to communicate to so many of you via my channel. Here on Firm Learning, I release new videos every single Saturday. So see you again in 1 week from now, and until then, good weekend to all of you. This is Heinrich from Firm Learning. Bye bye.